Hello, 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 Facebook family, YouTube family. Yes, 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 it's your one and only Delanella. I am here tonight just to take you to some recap of the World Conference. Listen, if you have missed the World Conference, I want to encourage you to go back to the page or social medias and make sure you follow from the beginning till the end. But for those of you who are just tuning in, we are just gracious enough to just bring you along, carry you along. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I won't be doing that alone. I have here my co-host with me. I want to just bring her on so that we can do it together. Hey,
Hello.
hey, hey.
Hi.
Good to see you. Good to
Good
see
to see
you.
you too. You look amazing. I believe it's all because of Women of Wealth, right?
Oh yes. We are well in the well. The wealth must drip. It was amazing. It was so amazing. Please
Mm,
share, share, share. Invite your friends and
yes.
family. Anyone that is on the online, just call them. Let them know that Wisdom Cafe is live. Yes, we
On.
cannot forget about our Wisdom Cafe fans, our
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom Cafe diehards that always tune in. We are sorry that we're a little bit late today because of the conference. It was just amazing. But we are here. We are here. So, like I said before, we all know Pastor Grace, but maybe you can, just introduce yourself again and just let us know what you have received during the conference tonight. I know it
Wow.
was a lot, but just give us some
Wow.
snippets of because I needed to digest. I have my notebook. I'm like, oh my God. It was
Wow.
powerful.
Today was really amazing for the Women of Worth conference. First of all, my name is Grace. I'm a daughter of God, a lover of God. I serve in Home Nation Ministry, and I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and yeah, and I'm a woman of wealth. Okay, so
Yeah, come on now.
getting that part. So today, in the conference, this, as Pastor Nella said, there was really a lot that was shared. I have been blessed. I've been enlightened. I just want to first of all just appreciate the visionary Apostle Favor for like birthing that, because this was the first of its kind, and
Mhm.
really the turn up was amazing. Other than that,
Come
it
on now.
was just all areas of life. There was health, there was the spiritual aspect of who really a woman of worth is. And for me, I would say I would share, of course, the things that I still digesting, but I would advise us to go, because it was live on Facebook, it was live on
Yes.
YouTube. Just
Yes.
go and rewatch everything, and trust me, you'll be blessed, because it was
Come
an
on now.
amazing session. um I think to start with, it was just an eye opener of who really a woman is, right? And
Mhm.
I love the fact that it was just explaining that, most of the times, not just the world, but our perspective has made us channeled us to a certain specific of who a woman is. And
Come
we
on
look
now.
at other areas and we are like, oh, I cannot be that. I cannot do
Mhm.
that, because the way society has pinned it out. But today
Yes.
was also more of a, like an eye opener to say that you can be everything that God designed you to be. You can be rich in career, rich in the industry, rich in health.
Yes.
I like the fact that it touched all areas of life. That
All
you
areas.
can all areas that you can triumph in every area. Sometimes we
Mhm.
think, oh, I should just be good in this area. I cannot be good in this area. But today was an enlightenment that you can be good
Mm.
in every area. Why not? Why not? Because the spirit of grace is in us to be able to do that. And I loved every speaker, the ceremony of it. Everybody spoke of how we have to avoid limitations, like limiting ourselves as women, seeing ourselves like, oh, I cannot do this, or I cannot be this, because God has called us for such much more. And there was a heavy aspect that I really loved, like for us to really be a woman of worth, we have to really be in good health. And I liked it because many of the times, for me, I just overlook some things, and I learned quite a lot. Trust me, some of the things were like, oh really, I should do that. Like, I'm questioning myself and questioning my life decisions. But I liked it because it was encouraging to say that if we really want to be everything that God has made us to be, we need also to take care of the temple that God has given us, to be all that. And
Yeah.
I liked also what Apostle said, which I think is a key, which is we should, as women, let us learn to sit down with our lover, which is Christ Himself.
Mm.
Let us
Come on
learn
now.
to sit down with Him who made us, because that's when we'll really get to understand that we are created for so much more, not just to be helpmates, but to be actually. She used this word that we're created to be warriors, to be women of
Yes.
strength, to portray wisdom, and if we do not know that identity of us, anything that comes into our lives, it will diminish it, because we never
Mm.
knew who we are in the first place. So she emphasized that, what, as women, let us get to a place where we always sit with our lover, which is Christ Himself, and get to understand, okay, what am I really created for? Then when we understand that, we go all in, not half in, but all in, because we have the
Oh, yeah.
backing. We have
Come
the
on.
backing of the Spirit. I'll start from there. Pastor Nella,
Yeah.
I'll let you to, as I
you
go,
know,
I'll be
you know,
dropping
we
nuggets as
can
you set
go,
up.
we can go. Like I said, it was so much. Like I said, it was such a verse of topics, and everything was touched. It was a
Yeah.
well balanced, well dished out 3-course meal. You know,
Yes.
and there's something that was so profound. That to me too was a highlight tonight. When Apostle was talking about when God mentioned woman. He identified woman as a warrior, while when Adam mentioned Eve as a woman, as wife, relationship. The same
Mm.
word, but two different meaning or two
Yeah.
different assignment. And that was so profound. We read that in Genesis 2:18. And
Mm.
there's a Greek word she mentioned. Like I said, I wrote it down in my in my notebook.
Yes.
Ezer means I, man. Er is for the weapon. It means
Mm.
the revelation of the enemy. That's why
Yeah.
God was telling them then, woman as a warrior, to domain, to be a warrior, to guard over the earth, to guard over the garden. Well, Adam said woman, Isha, meaning
Mm.
woman, female, taken out of men, you know,
Mm.
as relationship. But I
Yeah.
just want to, I want us to listen to this. We want to bring, like you say, we just want to bring you along to what was discussed today.
Yeah.
And I want you to hear it for yourself from the Apostle Favor. Let's
So
watch.
God is reminding us to embrace our life of dominion. He created, healed them, and blessed them. And bless them with this same ability to generate resources. I don't know about you, this just excite me, this just get me excited to just know that I am the image of God on earth. It has nothing to do with gender, the female part of God. After all, the Bible said He's the full-breasted one. In studying the Bible, I saw that God called the woman a warrior when He made the woman. But when Adam met the woman, He called her my wife, a woman, relational. But God designed us as women as a warrior, the one that should protect the garden, protect Adam and the garden from the intruder, the devil. And that word means the revealer of the enemy. Sometimes we don't even know how we've been wired, how we've been called. And we begin to pray, sometimes being a pastor myself, when sister wants, oh, I want God to give me a man that is rich, a man that is a billionaire. And I ask all about the spirit of wealth in you.
Wow, wow. You see?
Wow.
We
Mm.
couldn't say it better than that, right? It was
Well
really,
said.
really
Yeah.
amazing, really amazing. And we also spoke about health. There's something Dr. Judith say that was so profound. She said you should stop eating after 7,
Mm.
and that because yeah, all of us, our body are different. You take vitamins, you do different things, but you must stop eating after 7 so that your body have time to digest
Yeah.
everything. I know I'm guilty of that. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
At
you
least you're
know, to
working. I have to start working on it.
yes, you better start working on it, because we want to stay in on it long enough to enjoy
Yeah.
our wealth, you
Mm,
know. And it was just profound. It was so
yeah.
amazing.
Mm,
But three things that I just want to highlight. We talked about family, we talked about health, we talked about, the word woman in same word but different assignment. It was just rich. And there's something we also talked about: entrepreneurship.
yes.
There's something I wrote them down here. Three rules of entrepreneurship.
Mm,
First one, I see you all in the balcony there. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. This is the recap of the World Women of Wealth Conference. It was amazing. Can you see them in the balcony, Pastor Grace?
yes, I can see them. Yes.
Okay. Okay, before
Yes.
I read, can we just greet some of them? I can see them
Okay, I can
there.
see yes, I see comments. I see also our apostle has joined. She says, sit down with your lover Christ himself. Another comment says, I am the image of God, um, a warrior to protect the garden. This is one of the things that was highlighted by the apostle. And he
Yes.
also says that we women are warriors, we
Mm,
women are warriors. So for now, those are the comments are still coming, but those are some of the comments
yes.
that I'm seeing as well.
Yeah, we are seeing all of you. And I must give a shout out to those of us who were in the room. Oh my God, it was a whole nother level. Those of you who
Yes.
tuned in who were in the conference room, I hear so many testimony of people have been blessed. They were
Yeah.
just grateful for this conference. The testimony I keep rolling, message are coming in. And I also want to remind us, before I read those three things, I did not
Mm,
forget. I just want to remind those of you who have registered. The first 20, Apostle
mm,
said, will get her
yeah.
book,
Mm,
Collection of Thoughts for Entrepreneurs. So once they go through the list and you are one of the 20, you'll send your address, and then we will send your own book
wow.
assigned by
Wow.
Apostle to your zip
Wow.
code.
Wow.
you know
Amazing.
Yes, I think, Pastor Gray, I think we should close with those three rules. Let
Mm,
us hear your poem, because you were there and you give
yes.
them,
Yes.
your poem about wealth. It was so
Yes.
amazing. Can
Mm,
you just take that poem once time again, one more time?
okay. Okay. Should I just a clip of it or the whole of it? A clip of
Or
it first.
just as you're led, just give us if they should
I'm
go
like,
and check the
okay.
whole.
Okay. This is for all the women of worth that are watching this. You know, you're not too much, you're not behind, you're not disqualified because you carry both softness and strength. You are a woman of wealth. You are a woman of wealth not just because of money, but worth in wisdom, worth in grace, wealth in vision, wealth in faith that survived storms nobody knew you were actually facing. You are rich in purpose. You are rich in endurance. You are rich in the kind of prayers that heavens heard before earth ever saw the result. Sometimes the world tells us to choose ministry or ambition, choose calling or marriage, choose education or femininity, choose leadership or tenderness. But God never asks us to shrink to make other people comfortable. You can preach and yet still nurture. You can build businesses and still build altars. You can carry a Bible and carry degrees. You can lead in boardrooms and sit and bow down in prayer rooms. Because there's nothing ungodly about a woman becoming everything that God has made them to be. The Proverbs 81 woman reminds us that she was investing, she was planning, she was managing, she was
Mm,
teaching, she was creating, she was serving, and she was also leading. She handled purpose with both of her hands. So, woman of God, you do not have to apologize of your intelligence. You do not have to apologize of who you are. Study hard, write that book, start that ministry, love your
come on.
husband well, raise those children with wisdom, apply for
Mm,
that position, launch that vision, take up the space with so much grace. And when fear whispers at you that who do you think you are? you can answer boldly, I'm a child of God, carrying grace,
Come on
being
now.
everything that God has made me to be. Your worth is not just in your bank account, it is in your mind, it is in your discipline, it is in your obedience to obey every word that the Lord has said about you. So the world needs you. It needs the healed you. It needs the whole you. It needs the educated you. It needs the praying warrior you. It needs the powerful you. It needs you to be present in everything. It needs you to be excellent in what God has given in your hands, to be faithful in the ministry He has placed in you, to be relentless in growth, and to be soft enough to love everything God has given and has shown on you, and also to be strong enough to lead. You do not have to choose of being spiritual and being successful because God says we are both. Amen.
Wow. Come on now. That is
Amen.
so amazing. You know, when you
Mm.
talk about what God says, you begin to picture it because all about picturing it. And there's
Mm.
something Apostle that was so profound. She said, look out for the picture you have in your heart.
Mm.
Because the picture that you have in your heart, that is what you eventually will print out.
Yes.
You know,
Mm.
that's what will come out. So if you are
Mm.
broke and busted or you don't like what you see, that means you have to change
Picture.
your
Yeah.
inner picture.
Mm.
You know, one
Yeah.
thing about photographer, when they take a shot and they don't like it, you delete it.
They delete it and
You
retake
take
again.
another one. That's it. Delete
Mm-hmm.
and retake. Come on, I need
Mm-hmm.
you to put
Do
that
that.
in the chat.
Yes.
Delete and
Delete and
retake.
retake. Yes. Until it's
Because
perfected. Yes.
come on now, until you
Mm.
are pleased with what you see.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So it's all in our way of thinking, how we see ourselves, how we perceive. When we start to believe what God said about us, we will definitely, the words we will align and we begin to manifest those things. You know,
Mm.
you start to walk in your now, not in futuristic, because
Yeah.
faith is now. If God
Yes.
say you are wealthy, you are full of wealth, you begin to
Oh,
act.
yes.
Everything around you should display
Should
someone
allow.
who is wealthy.
Mm.
You know, that's in material things now. In
Yes.
health, you should be able to take care of your body. You should be able to watch what you eat in all aspects. In
Mm.
relationship, family, you should be able to do the things that needs to be done.
So true. Mm.
You know, and
Mm.
yes, so it was so amazing. You know, it's an idea we carry, the picture we carry.
Yes.
So if we
Yes.
can change that, we begin to see, and then we begin to manifest what
Yes.
we want to see, because
Mm.
those pictures in our heart is what we produce.
And the amazing thing, as Pastor you were saying about the perspective, as even Apostles highlighting on it,
Mm.
that it's so powerful because the moment you act on how you see, you become different, like what you have said. Like
Yes,
sometimes people act because they do not see properly. They
true.
act because, like, I'll give an example. For me, I wear glasses. If I don't wear glasses,
Mm.
even something might be there, but because my focus has not picked it, I'll think
Yes,
it's not there, right?
it's not
The
there.
moment
Yeah.
I wear the glasses and the lenses, I can see that, oh, this thing was here all along. So there was
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with the thing, it was
Come on now.
something wrong with my vision. That
Yes.
means when it comes to perspective, there's
Mm.
nothing wrong with what God has already said about us. Is
Come on
what
now.
is our vision? What are we focusing on? That's why
Exactly.
even when the women of God were sharing, even Apostle said that we should see through the lens of God. Like, what
Mm.
is God seeing? What is God saying? Then at the moment we start seeing in His lens, we start to understand that our eyes in the first place were not right. The way we grouped ourselves, the way we undermined ourselves, the way we
Yes.
limited ourselves is not the way
Mm-hmm.
God was, seeing us. It's not the way God
True.
sees us, because the truth is, the way God sees us is like that. It has never changed.
Yes.
It has
It
not,
has never changed.
changed now. Like you woke up and say, "Oh, Pastor Nella, this is how I see you." It has always
Mm.
been. He sees us from that perfection. The moment
Yes.
we start seeing ourselves otherwise, it's because our focus has changed from what He's
Come on
seeing.
now.
So
Mm-hmm.
perception is very important, and I really learned that starting from today, through the renewal of my mind, I should continually feed on what God is saying, not what the
Come on.
society is saying, not what the neighbor is
Mm.
saying, not what people have painted women to be, or grouped
Come
women
on.
to be, or stereotyped women to be, but sit down and say, what does God say? I didn't know that in the beginning God called woman to be like a warrior. I've learned
Warrior.
that
Come on
today.
now.
And that was
Yes.
also enlightening. Now you get to see the perspective that, you know what, I'm not meant for this low life. I'm meant for
Mm.
higher life. You get to
Come
get
on
that
now.
understanding, then you act accordingly. So today was really power packed. It was
Yeah,
impactful. It was,
really.
and another thing that I really liked, I think it was Prophetess Moore, is it that she said one thing that she also learned about being at the feet of Christ was, when challenges come, she has somewhere back to lean on. And many of the times people are thinking, oh, I'm gonna fail maybe in that career, I'm gonna fail in that marriage, because they have taken their own strength. But the
Mm.
foundation, when the foundation is Christ, whatever challenge or situation comes, you go back to your first lover, and he
Yeah.
takes you through whatever challenges and situation. It becomes the pillar that holds you throughout, whatever seasons that you're in. So I should say, for once, I'm blessed. I would urge us to go and watch, because it's there.
Yeah.
It's still on our platforms. You should go and
Yes.
watch and learn one
It
or two or
was.
three things. Yes.
Yeah, so rich, so rich. I'm telling you, it's something that we will take months to digest. It was
Yeah.
so power packed. You can't take everything at once. You have to take it in little bit, little bit, little bit. So like you heard, go and watch. This is just a recap. We are bringing you in of some of the highlights. But for you to have the full package, go back to it's on our page here, also on YouTube, and you can see the whole conference. In closing, because we want to come back next time. I just want to share these three rules of entrepreneurship with us that was also shared, because the money we must, like, I think one of the ladies said that you can also say, babe, which Jaguar do you want? Is it a Jaguar? Is it a Lamborghini? Or what is it that you want? Let me write
Mm.
down a check.
Mm. Yes.
The time of praying for a rich husband is over. No, you are that rich wife,
Rich. Yes.
and you are working in domain. You are
Mm.
a warrior, protecting the wealth of your family as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
let me just share with us, and then Pastor Gray, you will share your last with us, and then
Yes.
we will just call it a wrap for today. All right,
Mm.
3 rules for entrepreneurship. First one was to create real value money. Sorry, to create real value, because
Mm.
money always follows value.
Mm.
So the only thing you have to do is to create value. Once you have value, money will definitely follow
Oh.
you. No, most
Mm.
of the time we are focusing on the money, how to get the money. No, our
Yeah.
focus should be on value. What can I
Yeah.
bring? What makes me to
Mm.
be outstanding?
Yeah.
You know, Once you do that and you are outstanding, because the room is big enough for
Mm.
all of us. Daddy God makes sure that was a reality, that there is room
Yes.
for all
Mm.
of us. So you can say, yes, but everybody is doing it. But no, there is something that it gives to
Mm.
you that will make you to stand out, that will make you to bring that value, that the money will start following you.
Mm.
So it's important, most of the time we need to wait until we have everything together and then we will
Mm.
start. No, just
Mm.
start. Bring value to what you do. And God will allow the money to trace you. Hey, is that not good? Money is
Wow.
chasing you.
I'm telling
It's
you,
looking
chasing
for
after you.
you.
Mm.
And also, two, learn how to sell. If you can't sell, you can't grow. It's balance. Once you have bring value, it is important that you also know how to sell whatever
Yeah.
it is that you are bringing value
Mm.
to. Let
Mm.
people see the importance of why
Yes.
you, because there is so many others. So
Others.
you must
Yeah.
be able to
Mm.
sell,
Mm.
not like selling at the expense of other, but God will begin to give you wisdom and downloads to operate from that spiritual realm, that
Mm.
place of wealth, that place, that reservoir of wisdom, where you begin
Yeah.
to navigate and begin to
Mm.
sell things, not at the expense of others. You don't need to rob, be a robber, but just, do it in line with God's
Amen.
provision and
Amen.
wisdom.
Wow.
And number three is to take daily action execution.
Mm.
Beat ideas every time. We have to stay progressive.
Yes.
Think less, wish less, and take action. Most
Mm.
time we are spending so many time thinking, wishing, I wish,
Wishing.
what if, wishing,
Mm.
wishing, 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 wishing. No, we must take action.
Yes.
It's
Mm.
time to take action. It's time to take action. So I will just leave us with that. For the rest, go back to the conference
Yes.
and get your own personal Rema word, because I know
Amen.
there is a personal word for each one of us.
So true. So true. Wow.
Your
Wow.
last take, Pastor Grace.
Wow, for me, the last take is this woman of worth is each one of us. And
Mm,
it's just us to rise up, rise up and become everything that God has called us to be. This is not the moment to be shrinking, the moment to be seeing limitations, the opportunities. I believe this conference is also an eye opener to the ones that thought, oh, you know what, there's nothing else that I can do. But an eye opener to say there's not like there's greatness already in you that you just have to enrich and become it.
yeah,
And it will take our personal actions to be able to fulfill those things, as Pastor Nella said as well. So let's act on it. Let's not just be people that talk about it, but let's act on it. Wisdom has already been shared.
yeah.
The grace is already available. We have the
Come on
helper,
now.
the Holy Spirit. What else
Yes.
is our excuse? There is no other excuse at all. And
Yeah.
things have already been said that it's the worth, the money follows, somebody that is bringing in value. So just make sure
Mm.
that wherever you find yourself in, you're valuable enough. You
Come
are
on
you're
now. That's
you're a
it.
person that when people see you, they're like, oh, okay, I think I can utilize the services, whatever they're doing. And in that
Mm.
way, everything else that is pertaining to a good life and godliness and money and everything inside of it will follow you, because
That's all.
we are in for the good life through Christ. Amen.
Come on now. Come on now. Wow.
Yes.
So there you have it, guys. Just a recap. And like so we want to be invited next time again. And so that's why we are just keeping it short in glory so that you can also go and watch the full conference. But before we go, we always say let's love on your pastor. But
Mm.
tomorrow is a special day. If you're in the Netherlands, if you are based, for you, pastor, it's a double double. If you know, you know. But tomorrow is a special
Mother's
day
Day.
here in the
Mm.
Netherlands. If you are based in the Netherlands, tomorrow is Mother's Day.
Oh,
So we want
yes.
to give a shout out to all the mothers out
Mm.
there, and make sure I think the shops are still open. You can quickly go grab something,
Something. Yeah.
flour or whatever your mother like. If you forgot and you're in the Netherlands, go and get something or write a note. I don't know, do something to appreciate your mom, because
Mm.
tomorrow is Mother's Day. So love on your mothers tomorrow when you go to church. Let
Oh,
them
yes.
know that they are appreciated. They are
Mm.
your whatever it is you want them to, whatever it is you want to tell them.
Yes. Let them know.
Tomorrow is the day. And
Mm.
alongside, love on your pastor, on your
Yes.
bishop, and your apostle.
Yes.
And, you know, for today is a wrap. And we
It's a
thank
wrap.
you once again for allowing us into your personal space. This is Wisdom Cafe coming from the Netherlands. And we with my co-host, I think we did a great job today. Clap for
Yes,
us,
we
clap
did.
for us. Give us some love in the comment
Yes.
section, and we are looking forward to see you soon again. So on that note, what do we say tomorrow, Pastor Grace?
Love on your pastor tomorrow. And
Love on your mom. For
oh,
you, it's your
yes, love on
first
your mom.
mommy.
Yes,
Is your
love on your mom. Mother's
Yes,
Day. Love on your and
tomorrow
love on
is your
yourself as well.
yes, yes. So tomorrow, you to your mom. I'm sure they're going to pamper you. I know they have. I was hearing some whispering from here and there, but I won't say
We must
much.
be pampered. We must be pampered.
Just stay tuned. Be ready. Show up. All
Yes.
right. Thank you so much, guys, for viewing. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. And this broadcast is coming from the Netherlands. See you. Good
Bye
night.
now.
Bye.